Is yours.
All right. I'm just going to say in advance, if I talk really fast, you can stop me. I've been doing the countdown to competition plan, and I'm kind of like all over the place, like cutting carbs back. So my focus is not all there. But I'm going to actually make slides, so I'll share my screen.
Oh, she's getting technical on us, guys. We're going PowerPoint style.
We are. All right. So if I can go back up here. All right. So leveraging social media, I will tell you at the very beginning, I knew nothing about social media, like not really how to use it business wise, and I didn't really use it at all. I posted on Facebook, my personal page, maybe once or twice a month before I became a coach. And I was just one of those people that went through and I liked all these posts, but I never really shared about myself. Um, so it was a learning curve for me, and I've learned a lot along the way, but I've enjoyed it. So I know we've already touched on this a little bit, before, just about, your vibe attracts your tribe. So, you're not looking to reach out to every single person in the world. You're looking to reach out to people that are similar to you. So obviously before you post anything, your storefront is your page. Any social media platform that you use, that's your storefront. So when someone comes to your page, that's how they know about what you're doing. So of course, being in the right mindset when you post something, because you don't want anything negative. And then reading, something else that I've learned that helps me is reading personal affirmations and my goals out loud. So when I'm not feeling like doing the vitals and things like that, I'm putting myself in that mindset and reading, what I want to achieve. And then obviously being enthusiastic about the opportunity and coaching when you're sharing about that on your page. I, at the beginning, didn't really share a whole lot about the coaching side of things. I just shared about my health and fitness journey, and I wasn't sharing about what coaching was doing for me. So, people didn't know I was a coach. They're just like, this girl is drinking her shake and working out every day. But when you're sharing about what coaching has done for you, 5 areas that I like to, kind of filter through and talk about is, what it's done being a coach, what that has done for my health and fitness, learning more about, health and fitness. I didn't really know much coming into the business, about health and fitness. So that side of things. And then, what it's done for me financially and, what it's done for my family. And when I talk about myself, not health and fitness wise, but more emotionally, building that confidence within myself again, my self-esteem, things like that, and then what it's doing for my future. And I kind of cycle these through, every week I may pick a different topic to talk about on my page, and what coaching has done for me in that area. And then recognizing your team and coaches. I know it's so easy for all of us to just recognize, transformations, rank advancements, but when you're sharing it, it has to be in terms that your followers are going to understand, because, if they're not a coach and they're, they know nothing about coaching, they're not going to understand what an emerald is. So that's one of the biggest things that I've started learning how to help other people understand is like, oh, someone reached emerald. That just means that this girl, hit one of the first benchmarks as a newer coach and she nailed this. And I share that with, everyone who's following me on my page. And it also just gives that sense of community. Sharing about your team and your coaches gives that sense of community to others, because a lot of people, they work in jobs that they don't like, and they work with people that they don't like. And where we get to work with people that we do like, and we have fun with it. So sharing that sense of community helps others to know, hey, it's not just you alone, it's all this network of people. And it just lets them know that you're also helping others, your team and your coaches, and you're helping to build those people and help them reaching their goals, not just your goals. And then one of the things that I struggled with was being scared in the beginning, because I was scared about sharing coaching, because I wasn't really doing anything fantastic in the beginning, maybe getting a $40 paycheck here and there. And I wasn't scared to share that, like, oh, I'm a coach, but I'm not really making a whole lot. So, I just had to get out of my comfort zone and not being scared to share that, because that $40 was extra money to get groceries that week, or maybe I was getting gas or something like that. So sharing that is when people are like, okay, this girl is really, she's making money doing this and she loves what she's doing. I'm more interested in what she's doing that way. So it creates that interest. And then it also helps people to know, like, hey, I'm struggling with that. That could help me as well. And of course, people aren't going to know what you don't share. So if you're not sharing it on your page, they don't know what you're talking about. If you're privately messaging them and things like that. So they're not going to know what you don't share with them, which was something that I didn't really think about in the beginning. I was just sharing things, and then people were like asking me questions about this or that, and I was like, oh, I haven't shared that on my page. So that's why I had so many questions. So when people ask you certain questions, maybe you can go back and share, answer those questions publicly as well. And then obviously, a lot of us should know by now, someone coming to your page that's new, they're going to know that you're a coach. But, if you look at your page, do people know that you are a coach, or just someone who really loves health and fitness? And then believing that we just have the best opportunity. And overall, what we love about coaching. And then, kind of going into this, if you haven't listened to Bonnie Engle's National Wake Up Call, she goes over this, which I really loved. And I've actually started using that as well, and just publicly addressing objections. When you're talking to people and people have that price objection, or maybe it's they don't think they could do it because they have limited time and things like that. So I started doing that publicly and just addressing it with people and taking note of that. Because if chances are, if one person is feeling that way and they have that same concern, there's multiple people who feel that way. So addressing it publicly actually lessens the questions that I get when I'm messaging someone about the opportunity. So I'm not spending so much time trying to answer a question because I've already answered it publicly. And then, let's see, and then helping others to have less objections later on because I did answer those publicly. So when someone goes to my page, they already kind of have an idea of what coaching is because I've already answered all of their concerns basically and what it's done for me. So it's overall all around. And then obviously reaching out to people, the more people that you reach out to, the more people that are going to see your post because of the algorithm on Facebook. How many times have you not reached out to someone, or someone wasn't commenting or liking your stuff, and then eventually they just kind of drop off and you're like, where did that person go? And then you have to search them and find them on Facebook. So one of the ways that I like to stay in touch with someone, I have to move my screen here. There we go. One of the ways that I like to stay in touch with someone is if they're like liking or commenting on something, I'm just like, hey, I appreciate the support on my posts about my journey as a coach and helping others. It means a lot. I know this may sound crazy, but have you thought about doing what I do? And that's kind of where I go into talking about coaching. And I tell them why I think that they would make an amazing coach, and then also what it would allow them to do. So it obviously, I would have to know something about them with forming with them and what their struggles are and how coaching could help that with them. And then my other way that I've recruited coaches as well is when I'm sharing about even like challenge groups and things like that, and someone's ready to sign up with a challenge pack, obviously giving them the option to sign up as a discount coach, or maybe even for the opportunity to earn an income as a coach if I've never shared it with them then. So I'll go over the two different options, because if they're already getting a challenge pack, they can sign up for a coach's free essentially with that. So I just explained to them, hey, you can get a challenge pack and sign up as a customer, that's it, or you can do the discount and share that side of things as well. And that I can put this in the page if you guys want that, if it's easier, because it is kind of lengthy. But that has helped me to sign up a lot of coaches that way, even really just as a discount coach. But other than that, I will invite coaches to the business opportunity as if working the business rather than just the discount. And then I have some examples, so I'll go through these. Hopefully it'll let me click on these. There we go. So this was when we have this fancy rank within our team. It's called Double Emerald, and it's just to help people go past Emerald and go to Ruby and things like that. So if you're not understanding, it's just Emerald twice. But I got my husband's account to Double Emerald, and so I was sharing that, I was like, what does this mean? It just means I've started building him a business as well, along with mine. So sharing that with people are like, okay. And I actually had a lot of messages from that, people asking me, okay, so you're building two businesses, like how does that work, and things like that. And then when I paid off one of my credit cards, of course, I shared about that because I'm paying off debt, and that's one of my goals this year, which my social media knows that one of my goals is to pay off my debt this year. So debt-free in 2016, and, going over the reasons that I'm so thankful for this opportunity that was given to me. And let's see. I have a couple more. And then, of course, sharing Super Saturday and events. Those are huge because it's that sense of community as well. So, like, Summit, I shared like crazy last year. Anytime I go to Super Saturday, I share that as well because it just helps others to know that, these are people all within our area and where we live. So it's not like you have to go crazy far out of your way, and there's coaches everywhere. And let's see, yeah, that was 3. Okay, this one's kind of lengthy, or no, it's not. And then this was a comparison to like my first year as a coach, because I've been a coach for a year and a half-ish now. So my first year as a coach in March, obviously I didn't make a whole lot, and then I shared about how much it's increased since then. And then, what held me back and what it has done now, and sharing that with others. And a lot of people were like, I had even coaches reaching out to me like, I need to step up my game. So, and then, sorry, these are all different kinds of ones that I've done. And then when I became Diamond, I shared about that. And then about how I love this job more than any other thing that I have done in my life. So I shared that with people, and I think this is the last one. And then I'm sharing about my team and how much I just love my team and where they are at, and that they're on fire. And, that was a good month, for everyone that was hitting Success Club and things like that. So I'm just sharing, about my team. But that was really all I had. I hope I didn't talk too fast. Do you guys have any questions?
Anyone have any questions about that? About utilizing your social media page? Okay, I wanted to show an example. I thought this was a really good example as well. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. This kind of goes along with what Sarah just shared. I loved what Patrick Reilman did right here. So I'm gonna share my screen. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I was just looking at his page, and I loved this. Is kind of comparing what Sarah said. If you showed right here, I love the income posts every once in a while where it's showing you like, hey, we do make money as a Beachbody coach. I love this one right here. He's telling a little bit about his sister and how he's like, man, it doesn't seem that long ago that she wasn't interested in being a Beachbody coach. For 4 years, I made excuses, was inconsistent, was impatient. 3.5 years ago, I decided to treat my business like a business. And 6 months later, it started exploding. So he goes through like year 1 compared to his sister's year 1, year 2 compared to his sister's year 2, year 3 to year 3. I mean, it's just amazing. I love those kind of posts. I think that's they're super effective. I think people start, okay, this isn't just a get rich quick thing. It's I need to be patient. I need to stay consistent with this kind of business. Maybe this is something for me. This isn't my, like I just said, the get rich quick thing. So love those kind of posts. I feel like everyone should be utilizing those kinds of posts. But Sarah, that was an awesome presentation. I love the PowerPoints. I love the things that you shared. I hope all of us utilize some of the things that she did share, and not being that coach that hears great information and just sets things aside and doesn't utilize them. Let's utilize them. Let's kill May. Let's continue to push forward and just do awesome. Does anyone have any questions before we end the call? Okay.
Thanks, Sarah. Great tips.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, you're the bomb.com. Great job. I don't know who has our call.